Hari Om, everyone. Let's begin with the prayer. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Vyasaya Vishnurupaya Vyasarupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidhaye Vasisthaya Namo Namaha Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. So we are all very grateful and privileged to be back for another session of Bhagavad Gita Manana class. So we are studying the Vibhuti Yoga, in which the glories of the Lord are described in great detail, but still he says this is nothing. My glories are infinite. So there's more, there can never be enough said about his glories. So what we'll do today is we have a special guest with us. She is Kavya Shri. Okay. Kavya Shri is, I'll tell you what she is. She is from California. Where do I begin? She's got a lot of, she wears a lot of hats. She's a IT professional, but she's pursuing this thing in Ayurveda. She's an Ayurvedic practitioner as well. And she's pursuing studies to become a doctor, Ayurvedic doctor. And then she's spiritually inclined. And so she's deeply passionate about exploring the Vedas and the Upanishads. Big shout out to her. And she has done research on Vedic cosmology. Vedic cosmology. You know why this is relevant to us? Because just in the previous class, we were talking about Vedic cosmology, the timeline of Brahma, and that, you know, the smallest time unit said in the Bhagavata to the highest. So that is where Anu Rao, she thought about Kavya, and Kavya is related to Anu and Shweta. So she knows that Kavya would be interested in expanding more on this because she has done a lot of research in Vedic cosmology. So what else can we add about Kavya? Shweta, she's your cousin. Tell me more. Tell us more.
Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, Kavya. I'm glad you're here today. Kavya and I grew up together.
Okay.
We learned Bhagavad Gita from our grandmother together, actually.
Okay, wonderful.
When we were younger. So I think we got that exposure very early on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad she got to stay in the line and explore more. Like you said, she's very spiritual. And I see my aunt, her mother is also here today, so which I'm really happy to see. She's always been a very smart person, but I'm so glad like she explored further, and I'm happy that she's finishing her Ayurveda, studies in Ayurveda. She's really good with those, prescribing medicines and looking at symptoms. Actually, she's really good about that. So I think she'll be a great doctor. So I'm really happy she's here. Welcome, Kavya.
Thank you, Shweta.
Yeah, and I'm so glad Anu thought about bringing her to this platform. I'm really happy. Yes.
Yeah, Anu told me I missed your Loka class, so I'm so glad she thought about that. So I didn't realize you had talked about Loka. I missed that class. So yeah.
Yes, Kavya, we are all Jai Shri, Shweta Vadiyar, Satyavati, Suma, Kamala, and Indira, Shaila, myself, we are all regulars of the class. So you carry on.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about your class, and thank you so much for having me here. And it's a privilege to share whatever little knowledge I have gained through these years. I've not even scratched the surface with respect to the Vedas and Upanishads. it's just so vast, so profound.
Mm.
And I feel like one lifetime is not even enough to
True.
gain this kind of knowledge.
True.
But I think everybody's on the spiritual path here, and I'm very happy that I'm also here and, being a small part of your path today. And thank you again. With that said, can we get started, Purnimaji?
Yes, please. You want to share
Okay.
screen, and I have to make you host.
Yeah, I can share the screen.
All right. Yes, I think you're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can, Kavya.
Let me.
Mm.
Okay. So to begin with, what is Vedic cosmology? So Vedic cosmology tells us about the entire creation. It's a vast topic, and it is this cosmology, this topic is derived from many Upanishads, like um, many Puranas, like Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahma Purana, um, Narada Purana, and then Vamana Purana, and so on and so forth. So, Vedic cosmology deals with the entire creation of the creation, not just the universe. So, to begin with, let's start with the material energy. But before that, I would like to um elaborate on what is the percentage of material world versus spiritual world in this entire creation, because we have material world and the spiritual world in this creation. So material world consists of infinite number of universes, and those all amount to only 25% of the entire creation of the creation, and the remaining 75% of the creation is the spiritual world, where the time and space does not exist, and spiritual world is beyond time and space, and that's where you can find the Vaikuntha and the real Goloka, the Kailasa and Ayodhya and things like that. But today we will be talking about more about the material world. So let's get started. Um, I'm sure a lot of you or everybody is familiar with this picture. It's all over the internet, and they show it on TV also, TV shows and things like that. So what is this picture? So this is Mahavishnu lying on the Karana Ocean. Karana Ocean is nothing but the causal ocean, and he is the source of all the ingredients for the material universes. So when he starts exhaling his breath, one exhalation starts producing each universe is coming out from his pores. So he is in Yoga Nidra in his transcendental body in the Karana Ocean. And this Karana Ocean, which is a causal ocean, does not have water in it. It's Sri Hari or Sri Vishnu's sweat, which is the pure energy. So whenever he exhales, one exhalation produces infinite number of universes. And you see these bubbles here, all these are material universes that is coming out of his pores. And then I'm going to zoom in a little bit and then show you what is after this, like what happens after this. So once he starts exhaling and all these universes start coming out, the next thing is we have the 25 elements that make each universe. I'm not pretty sure you're aware of this also. According to the Sankhya philosophy, we have this saying called Yatha Pinde Tatha Brahmande, or Yatha Brahmande Tatha Pinde, which means as is the human body, so is the cosmos, or so is the cosmos as is the human body. So here Pinde means microcosm and Brahmande means macrocosm. So according to the Sankhya philosophy, there is about 25 elements, basic principles of existence that are the building blocks from which everything is created in this universe, including the living beings inside the universe. So Sankhya Yoga describes a complete spectrum of human existence by revealing these basic 25 elements that make up the macrocosm and the microcosm. So out of these 25 elements, Purusha and Prakriti are the sources from which the entire universe evolves or manifests. And from the Prakriti arises Mahat and Buddhi, which is the cosmic intelligence and the individual intelligence. And we have the three gunas, that is the sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sattva denotes the balance. Rajas is the momentum and desire, and tamas is the inertia or decay. And from sattva arises, sorry, I missed ahankara. So from buddhi, we have ahankara, which is not really the false ego that we know of. Ahankara in this case is the self-identity, the feeling of I am. It's the need of differentiation. Okay. And then from ahankara arises manas, which is our mind, which is filled with emotions and ideas, and also has sensations and thoughts. And from the sattva, oh, I'm sorry. And from the sattva gunas, we have the panchajnanendriyas, which are the five sense organs that perceive the five sense objects, and the entire knowledge of the universe is obtained through these. And which are these five panchajnanendriyas? They are the karna, tvak, chakshush, jihva, and ghrana. That is the ears, skin, eyes, tongue, and nose. And then we have the five organs of action, which are the pancha karmendriyas. That is the speech which does the talking, hands that does the grasping, feet for walking, genitals for procreation, and anus for elimination. And we have the panchatanmatras, which are the five sense objects, shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasagandha, which is the sound, touch, form, form and appearance, taste, and odor, which are derived from the Panchamahabhutas, that is the Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha, and Prithvi. Okay, so these are the 25 elements that the entire universe and us are made. So moving on, any questions before I move on? Am I going too fast? Please stop me.
No, you're fine. But why are these, why are some grouped under sattva and why are some grouped under tamas?
They are just derivation of sattva. So sattva, because jnanendriyas, they don't have, so jnanendriyas are just the organs, right? They don't really have a mode of action. That is why it's sattva, because it's still, it's balanced. No matter what happens, it still be there. And rajas, because in this case, rajas is the pancha karmendriyas, because rajas is the mode of action, and pancha karmendriyas are the, like I said, the organs, which is the speech for talking, and hands for grasping, and feet, and so on. They all do the action. That is why they fall under the rajas guna. Tamas guna, because the ether, air, fire, water, earth, all these are derived from the tamas guna, because they have intelligence. They can also be, see, as per Ayurveda, tamoguna is made out of earth and water element, and sometimes fire and ether. It depends on which element we are looking at. And tamoguna is basically, it's dull, it's, it's inertia and decaying, dull and cold, and all these come under tamoguna, and these five elements are derived from that.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So moving on.
But then the picture is showing us the five karmendriya under sattva. So I think that's.
Yeah, I think I see the rajas also is in the middle. So maybe I should just change the picture so that it's more clear. But this is the concept. I hope that's okay. I can change the picture.
No, don't worry about it. You carry on.
Yeah, this I got it from the internet, and I know it's hard to decode this, but that's, as long as the concept is clear, I'm good. Okay.
Okay.
Moving on. So we spoke about the Vishnu who is sleeping here on the Karana ocean with all the bubbles and the universe is coming out. Now, I'm going to expand on this by showing you this slide here. This is the universe I'm talking about, and here is the Vishnu. Is there a way for me to show? Oh, here, okay. This is my pen, right? I can show this somehow. Can you see the pen here do you see the pen when I
Yes,
am
yes.
moving this?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we
Okay.
can. Yeah.
Okay, great. So this is the Vishnu we saw in the first screen, in the first slide, where all the universes, you see these bubbles are coming out, infinite numbers of universes. So we're going to take one universe now and talk about that. That is our universe right here, which is the Brahmanda or Durga Dhama, okay? So what happens after Vishnu starts exhaling, these universes start coming out. There's Purusha and Prakriti. I spoke about the 25 elements, and you see these layers here with some color codings, blue, orange, yellow. All these are the 5 elements and the 2 more elements, which is the Mahat, Buddhi, and Ahankara. Mahat and Buddhi are similar because they are intelligence, and then Ahankara. So every universe in this creation is made in layers out of these Panchabhutas and the Mahat and the Ahankara, okay? And they span across millions and millions of miles away from each other, okay? And these are the protective layers of every universe. Now, you will see that there's a Vishnu sitting here, and there is also another Vishnu who is somewhere here. Unfortunately, it's not too clear. But this Vishnu here, Karana Ocean Vishnu, is called the Karanodakashaya Vishnu. He expands himself into 2 Vishnus in every universe. One is the Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, who's sitting right here, and who is at the bottom of the universe on the Garbhodaka ocean. And the other one is Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, who is also in this universe and who is supposed to be actually the Paramatma, who spreads himself across every atom of the living being in the universe. So when we say we have Paramatma in every Anu, we mean Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, who is also in the universe and who's also expansion of Karanodakashaya Vishnu. And Garbhodakashaya Vishnu here, we have a lotus coming out of his navel. You see the lotus stem right here along the entire vertical path of the universe up until the top of the universe, which is here. This is the Brahmaloka, which is the topmost loka of the universe. And this is where Brahma is born out of Sri Vishnu's navel from here. That is the Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, okay? And you'll see all these 14 lokas that are spanned across the universe along the stem. So these 14 lokas, I'm going to talk about these 14 lokas and what are there in these realms. So Brahma, after that, Brahma is the first Jivatma. What is a Jivatma? Jivatma is someone like us, but he's the first Jivatma. Jivatma is someone who has a lifespan, who is bound by time and space, who has an age, and who is born and who is also bound to die. So Brahma also, just like us, has 100 years of life. And here, not to mistake his 100 years of our 100 years, his 100 years is equal to 311 trillion 40 million years, human years, okay? So I'm going to talk about his timeline in the next slide. Okay, I'm not able to move. Yeah. So this is the timeline of Brahma. His lifespan is about 100 years, that amounts to 311 trillion human years. And we are in the first day of his 51st year, which means the first 50 years have already passed, which means half of 311 trillion human years have already passed by in this universe when the universe was born. We have finished 155 trillion human years already, and we are in the first day of 51st year of Brahma. His one day is equal to one kalpa, and his one night is equal to another kalpa. So his day and night constitute to 2 kalpas, which are equal to 8.64 billion years. So the day of Brahma, he does all the creation, and he is, he's all in his active, he's doing all his work. But when the night comes, that is the second kalpa, he goes to sleep, and that's when a partial annihilation or a partial pralaya happens. But I'll come to that later, but this is just a heads up. So let's talk about how long is one kalpa of Brahmas and what is there in one kalpa? Like, how do you even define that? So one kalpa is equal to 4.2 billion human years. And one day of Brahma has 14 manvantaras, okay? And the kalpa we are in right now is called the Shweta Varaha kalpa. And you probably have heard this because in the Sankalpa mantra, we get this Shweta Varaha kalpa and so on. And I'll come to that as well. So the kalpa we are in of Brahma is called Shweta Varaha kalpa. And that kalpa has 14 manvantaras. So one manvantara contains 71 chaturyugas or mahayugas that last about 306.7 million years. And one mahayuga or chaturyuga is equal to Sattva plus Treta plus Dwapara plus Kali Yuga, which amounts to 4.2 million years. And we have the timeline of each yuga also. Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. Dwapara is double that. Treta Yuga is triple the Kali Yuga timeline, which is 1,296,000. Sati Yuga is 1,728,000. So this is the time measurement of the Manvantaras and Kalpas and Brahma's timeline. Any questions on this before I move on?
Well, I
Okay.
have none. What about the others?
No questions, Purnima. Nothing.
Okay. So let's talk about these 14 Manvantaras and which Manvantara are we in, which Kali Yuga are we in, which, Chatur Yuga we are in, okay? The first Manvantara is the Swayambhu Manvantara. Swayambhu Manvantara happens in the beginning of the creation of this entire universe. So there are some events that happened in Swayambhu Manvantara, like Vishnu taking Matsya Avatara and killing the demon Hayagriva. There is a story also. So Vishnu takes Matsya Avatara 2 times, one to kill the demon Hayagriva and the other one to rescue King Satyavrata from the pralaya. Okay, and that would be another Manvantara. But this Manvantara, Matsyavatara, kills Hayagriva. And the Indra of this Manvantara is Vishwabhuk. And let me tell you something. So every Manvantara has different Indra and different Saptarishis, new set of Saptarishis and new set of Indras. So in this Swayambhu Manu, Vishwabhuk is the Indra and Saptarishis are Marichi, Atri, Angirasa, Pulaha, Kratu, Pulatsya and Vashishta. And some of the events that happened was Matsya Avatar, of course, and then Varaha Avatar also, that came twice in the entire Kalpa. Once as Shweta Varaha Avatara to lift the earth from when the Pralaya happened. And the second was the Avatara that had a dark skin, and that was to kill the Hiranyaksha and again lift the earth from the Garbhodaka ocean. And also the Dhruva story happened in this Swayambhu Manvantara, and story of Sati also happened. And Naranarayana also were born and came about in this Manvantara. Now moving on, the next Manvantara is Swarochasha Manvantara. In this Manvantara, the Indra's name was Vipaschit and the Saptarishis were Urja, Stamba, Prana, Rama, Rishabha, Niraya and Parivan. And some of the very interesting events that happened that in this Manvantara were Vishnu slays Madhu and Kaitava demons. Mahishasura happened. Mahishasura story where Durga Devi slayed Mahishasura happened in this Manvantara. And she also killed Raktabija, Dhumralochana, and ultimately other demons like Shumbha and Nishumbha. And in this phase, the revolving nebula, which in the universe, in the beginning of the universe, the nebula gets heated up and starts burning by its own force. And this disk, it becomes a self-shining object that we famously know as the sun today, which later developed into the golden yellow sun. The next Manvantara is the Uttama Manvantara. In this phase, the sun is fully developed. It's a full-fledged star now. And the Indra is Sushanti. And the new set of Saptarishis are Kaukundihi, Kurundi, Dalaya, Shankha, Pravahita, Mita, and Samhita. In this Uttama Manvantara, Lord Vishnu's avatara. So Lord Vishnu avatara is not just 10. He also takes avatars in different Manvantaras as and when needed. In this Manvantara, he came as Satyasena, and Uttama is none other than, he's the son of Priyavrata, who is the son of the first Manvantara, Manu, who's the Swayambhu Manu. Okay, and this is the Uttama Manu, and there's not too many famous events that happened because Earth was still getting formed and so on and so forth. Let's go to Tamasa Manvantara. This is, in this Tamasa Manvantara, it was kind of a dark age. And the day and night, the concept of day and night started in Tamasa Manvantara. And then Indra was Trishika, and Saptarishis were Jyotirdhama, Prithu, Kavya, Chaitra, Agni, Vanaka, and Pivara. Some of the famous events that happened were, if you've heard of the Gajendra Moksha story, where Sri Hari comes and saves the elephant from the crocodile, that happened in this Manvantara. Okay, moving on. Raivata Manvantara, the Indra's name was Vibhu, and these were the Saptarishis, Hiranyaroma, Vedashri, Urdhabahu, Vedabahu, Sudhaman, Parjanya, and Mahamuni. And some of the events that happened in Raivata Manvantara, the earth was having heavy and constant rainfall for millions of years in Raivata Manvantara. And the sky always remained overcast with clouds, and there were rivers and lakes and oceans that were forming land masses. And the whirlwinds and the whirlpools started emerging, and when the movement and jumping activity began on Earth for the first time. So that is what Raivata Manvantara is all about. And this is called the Raivata Manvantara because it signifies movement and clouds and whirlpools and rivers and mountains. Okay. Any questions so far? Is it too technical or am I okay?
Yeah, I have a question. So you were telling that in this Manvantara only Earth started forming. So in earlier Manvantaras, how human being were, because you were telling that Dhruva and Gajendra Moksha,
Yeah.
all those things were happening. So where
Yeah.
were they living?
Yeah. So very good question. Thank you for that. So every Manvantara, just before the Manvantara starts, there is a pralaya. Okay, just remember there's a pralaya, and when the pralaya happens, Manvantara pralaya happens, some of the planet, some of the realms, the 14 lokas I was talking about, a few realms in those 14 lokas get completely annihilated in the ocean, or they're flooded, or something happens and they're all destroyed. Now the next Manvantara has to start. So every Manvantara goes through this period of, evolving and developing. And it doesn't happen. Sorry. Okay, so it doesn't happen in the entire Manvantara. Remember, one Manvantara has 71 Mahayugas, which is 306 million years. This evolving of Earth does not happen for 306 million years. It does happen for a few million years, but then again, once the Earth is involved, all these events starts happening. It's just that we don't have that many events happening in the Raivata and the Uttama Manvantara, unfortunately. But otherwise, there are events that happen, and Earth is not the only realm that is having living creatures. Okay, there are other realms that have many more opulent forms of living beings, and there are other realms that have been there. I will come to that later, but that's how it works. I hope that's clear.
So the earth you are specifying here now is the same we are living?
This one, yes. The one I'm
Okay.
specifying is where we are living. But when I'm talking about Indra and Saptarishis, they don't live on the earth
the
globe
earth.
that we are in. Yeah,
The same is the case for the sun also you were telling, right?
that's correct. So the sun forms every Manvantara. I mean, I don't have those many details, and I don't think, I'm not sure, I've not read all the books, but yes, sun also has an age, right? And in the Manvantara, when there's a pralaya happening, sun also goes through some kind of transformation and changes that we don't know completely about because it's still so vast. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. The next one, this is the 6th Chakshusha Manvantara, which is just before our Manvantara, which is our Manvantara is 7th Manvantara. So this happened just before us, Chakshusha Manvantara. The Indra for Chakshusha Manvantara was Manojava. Saptarishis were Sumedha, Viraja, Havishman, Uttara, Madhu, Sahishnu, and Atinama. And some of the famous events that happened in Chakshusha Manvantara were Varaha saves earth from Hiranyaksha. So let's talk about this for a little bit. When I was a kid, when I heard about the story of Varaha and Hiranyaksha putting the earth in the ocean, I was like, what ocean are they talking about? We have ocean on the earth. How can earth fall into its own ocean? Because I didn't know anything outside of earth. But I got the answer when I started researching about this. So Hiranyaksha puts the earth globe in the Garbhodaka ocean that I was showing, where Garbhodakashaya Vishnu is laying in the universe. So half of the universe is filled with Garbhodaka ocean, and Hiranyaksha is so humongous and so huge and so powerful. He takes our earth and puts it in the Garbhodaka ocean. And Varaha comes and saves our earth, and he lifts the earth from the Garbhodaka ocean. That was the technicality of where he exactly put the earth. Now, Kurma holding up the Mandara mountain while churning the ocean, that also happens in Chakshusha Manvantara. Lord Dhanvantari comes out of the churning of the ocean, who is the god of Ayurveda. And Mohini takes form from Lord Vishnu. And in this case, the end of Chakshusha Manvantara, Matsya Avatara came to save King Satyavrata from the pralaya that happens just before the 7th Manvantara starts. Okay. Any questions before I move on? And I've put on some pictures here. This is the Varaha.
So the Varaha came before Matsya? It looks like it.
No. It's just, okay, I've not put it in order, but Varaha comes. Yeah, sorry. Varaha comes before Matsya. That's correct. Sorry. Yes. Because remember, Matsya came in first in Swayambhu Manvantara to kill Hayagriva. Sorry, Hayagriva. So Matsya Avatara came first. But in this Chakshusha Manvantara, Matsya came for another reason, to save King Satyavrata.
All right.
But so he came twice. Once in the 1st Manvantara, once in the 6th Manvantara.
And he'll keep coming. We never know, right?
Of course, absolutely. All these are cyclic. All these keep repeating. And if you've heard of Kakabushundi, who is also the crow who saw Ramayana about 16 times in his life, because he was able to time travel in the past, and he was able to see Mahabharata for 11 times, and Sati's story for a few times, and so on. And he talks to Narada and he tells, oh my God, Ramayana happens so many times and there are so many different outcomes and different stories. But this is just one kalpa we know of. And that also we don't have 100% knowledge. We know only one Ramayana that has happened in this kalpa, but there are millions of Ramayanas that have happened before this, and Mahabharata. And Krishna has come every time, Rama has come every time.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's go to the next. This is the Manvantara that we are in right now. So in the Sankalpa mantra, one of the words that you will hear is Vaivasvata Manvantara. After Shvetavaraha Kalpa, there is, Brahma Parade, and then we have Vaivasvata Manvantare. This is what the Vaivasvata Manvantara denotes in that shloka. So our current Indra's name is Purandara. And our current Saptarishis names are Vasishtha, Kashyapa, Atri, Jamadagni, Gautama, Vishwamitra, and Bharadwaja. Some of the very famous events that have happened in this Manvantara, and I'm sure it will happen further also. So we are in the 28th Chaturyuga. So there are 71 Chaturyugas in one Manvantara. We are in the 28th Kali Yuga of the Chaturyuga. So we've already passed 27 Chaturyugas, and we still have 71 minus 28 Mahayugas. Fourth Satyuga, Narsimha kills Hiranyakashipu. Seventh Treta Yuga, Vamana seizes the land of the Asura king Bali. 10th Treta Yuga, Dattatreya is born. 15th Treta Yuga, King Mandhata reigns. 19th Treta Yuga, Parashurama is born, and he kills Kshatriyas and Kartivirya Arjuna. 24th Treta Yuga, Ramayana happens. So keep in mind, there is some controversy regarding this Ramayana timeline right here, 24th Treta Yuga, because we are in the 28th Kali Yuga, and 28th Dwapar Yuga is when the Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita happened, which was 5,100 years ago from us right now. That's when Kali Yuga started. As soon as Krishna died, Kali Yuga started. But Ramayana did not happen in the 28th Treta Yuga. It happened in the 24th Treta Yuga, which dates back to 18 million years before Mahabharata happened. And there's also a proof in one of the books where Hanuman is flying to Sri Lanka, and he starts describing Lanka and the surroundings. He describes an elephant with a four-tusked elephant. And if you Google this elephant, you will see it's called Gomphotheus, okay? And this elephant actually got extinct only like, I don't know, 20 million years ago or something. And this elephant was there in the Ramayana time, which means that Ramayana did not even happen 10,000 years ago. It happened 18 million years ago, as per the Puranas. As per the archaeologists, the jury is still out on that. They're still struggling with the facts. But this is purely based on Puranas. Okay. So this is the Vaivasvata Manvantara that we are in. And the 28th Kali Yuga, the end of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is 4,32,000 years of duration. We have finished only 5,200. We still have about 428,000 years to go before Kalki takes form, and Kalki takes birth in Shambhala and starts fighting with Kali. And I believe the 7 Chiranjeevis are going to be supporting Kalki and fighting along with him against Kali. Okay. Now, these are the next 8 through 14 Manvantaras that have not even happened. But it's so amazing that, the scriptures already knew what Manvantara, who is the Indra. Now, do you see this Indra? His name is Bali. This Bali is none other than the king Bali that Vamana pushed down to one of the Patalokas. So he was granted the title of Indra in the next Manvantara, And that's what it's going to be. He's going to be the next Indra in the Savarni Manvantara. And these are the Saptarishis. And we already know who is going to be Indra from the scriptures, which is so amazing. It's mind-blowing. Okay. Any questions before I move on? Okay. I'm sorry, do I have time, or am I like holding you up from something? Can I continue, or do you want a second
No, you
session?
carry on. No, you can carry on till like 7:55. 10 more minutes.
So, okay, 10 more minutes. Okay, I'll
And then
I'll
question
speak
answer.
through.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as I showed in the picture in the first in the third slide, the universe has 14 lokas. Okay, 14 realms, and these 14 realms, they represent different states of conscious awareness, and they're scattered throughout the universe. And the top 7 lokas are called the Vyartis, and the bottom 7 lokas are called the Patal lokas. And these also correlate to the chakras that we have in the body, which are these chakras. The top 7 chakras, starting from Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Agnya, and Sahasrara, they start from Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. And the bottom 7 realms are Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Patala. They start from the thighs and then go all the way bottom up to the feet. Okay. So these are the 14 lokas. Let's see what are these lokas. So the topmost loka is the Brahma loka. This is the highest realm in the material universe, and it is the abode of Lord Brahma. And here, whoever lives with him, including Saraswati and all the other entities, they have done years and thousands of years and thousands of years of spiritual penance to be promoted to this loka, I would say. And people who live here are released from the necessity of rebirth. And they are free from the bondage of 84 lakh cycle of births and deaths that we keep going through here. Okay. The loka next below the Brahma loka is Tapaloka, which is the abode of the 4 Kumaras of Brahma. These are the Manasaputras of Brahma. There are Sanat, Sanak, Sanandan, and Sanatan. And they are also the incarnation of Vishnu, and they remain to be Kumaras because they don't want to contribute in the progeny of the universe. And they are highly elevated souls, and they are highly enlightened souls. And they preach Lord Vishnu's story. I mean, they talk about Lord Vishnu to their devotees, and they're always in prayers of Lord Vishnu in their Tapaloka. Now, next is Janaloka. Here also there are mystics and sages that live here, and they have God consciousness, and they are spiritual teachers. And all these living entities that live in these realms, they have the power and the access to travel anywhere in the universe and even outside of the universe, which is the Vaikuntha Loka. Maharloka, in this, we have great sages like Sage Markandeya, Bhrigumuni, and Dhruvaloka is just below the Maharloka, and Saptarishi Loka is also just below the Dhruvaloka. And the sun, moon, nakshatras, grahas, and all these entities are also just under the Maharloka. Swargaloka is under the Maharloka, again, under the sun, moon, and all that, in between Maharloka and the Antariksha. 33 Vedic gods are here on the peak of Mount Meru. I'm going to show you where the Mount Meru is. And here Indra rules the kingdom with his companions. There's Gandharvas, Apsaras, Marutas, Vasus, and there are Adityas and Vasus and Ashwini Kumaras. All those live here in Swargaloka. And it's very opulent, and they have unimaginable riches, wish-fulfilling trees, and they have spacecrafts, supersonic spacecrafts, which are highly advanced.
ఇది చేయొచ్చు మమ్మీ కానీ ఇది రాయినప్పుడు ఈరోజు చేసుకుంటా క్లాస్కి వెళ్తాను కదా ఈరోజు.
And the next is Bhuvarloka. These are semi-divine beings like demigods, and they assist the humans and gods accordingly. And this also, there are 5 major planets in this loka, Bhuvarloka, like Buddha is in this, and Shukra in this, and so on. So this is what I was talking about. How do I move this? Okay, that's fine. So this is, you see this disk here. This entire disk here is our Bhuloka. Okay, this is not Bhuman. This is not the earth. This is the Bhuloka in which the earth exists, and I'll come to that in a bit. And these are the 14 lokas I was talking about. Bhuloka. Then there is Bhuvarloka. This is the Mount Meru that starts from the Bhuloka and goes all the way up to Swargaloka. This is where the kingdom of heaven is. This is where Indra and everyone lives. Maharloka, this is where the Dhruva Loka, Saptarishis are there. Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. I'm not able to move this, otherwise I would have shown you. How do I move this? That's okay. Satyaloka is on the top, and this is at the bottom, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala. And you will see this is Garbhodaka ocean, where Vishnu is sleeping here, and this is Anantashesha. He is lifting the entire Bhuloka on his hood. And it feels his hoods are so huge and so many hoods that he just feels that there's an atom sitting on him. That's how big he is. And this is the Bhuloka. Okay, I showed you the disk in the previous slide. This is the Bhuloka, and we are surrounded by 7 dvipas or 7 islands. We are in the Jambu Dvipa right here, the blue circle right here. That is the Jambu Dvipa. That's where we are there. And we are surrounded by the salt ocean. And the next one is Plaksha Dvipa, that is surrounded by sugar ocean. Shalmali Dvipa, surrounded by liquor ocean. Kusha Dvipa by ghee ocean. Krauncha Dvipa by milk ocean. This is the Kshira Sagara, where the churning, the Samudra Mantana happened. This is where it happened in the Bhuloka. Shaka Dvipa, which is the yogurt ocean. And this is the Pushkara Dvipa. Okay. So these are the 7 dvipas or 7 islands of our Bhuloka. Now this is where we live, Jambudvipa. In the Jambudvipa, we have 9 Varshas, Uttara Kuru Varsha, Hiranmaya, Ramyaka. Okay, we live in the Bharata Varsha right here at the bottom, right here. You see this Bharata Varsha? This is where we live. This Bharata Varsha is a section. Bharata Khanda is somewhere here. So this is where the earth is. This is where one small globe here is the earth in the Bharata Varsha. So you can imagine how big the universe is. And some of the interesting people that live, Ilavrata Varsha, there is Shiva and Parvati, and there is like 10 crore servants of theirs. And any man that enters into the Ilavrata Varsha is going to turn into a woman. Okay, there are stories about this in the Shiva Purana and all that. And Harivarsha, Harivarsha is where Lord Narsimha lives, okay? And Kimpurusha Varsha is where Lord Hanuman lives in the glory of, worships in the glory of Lord Rama. And Kuru Varsha, there is a Kuru Varsha here somewhere, Ketumala. Yeah, Uttara Kuru Varsha. This is where the physical form of our Bhudevi and her husband Varaha, they live here, right here. So this is the map of Jambudvipa. And this is the Mount Meru Parvata that I showed, where it extends from Bhuloka up until the Swargaloka. And at the top of Mount Meru is where the kingdom, the Amaravati of King Indra lives there. Okay, I'm going to speed up now. And this is another diagram of Jambudvipa. And Bharatavarsha right here at the bottom, that's where we live. You see Himalayas here, and just below that is the Earth globe. Okay, and these are the lower lokas. Atala, Vitala, Sutala. Let's see quickly what Atala is. In the Atala Loka, the son of Mayadanava lives. His name is Bala. He possesses mystical powers. Vitalaloka, there is a god called Harabhava, who is the incarnation of Shiva. Sutalaloka, Lord Bali. So when Vamana pushed Bali into the Patalaloka, this is where he landed, in Sutalaloka. And he is waiting for his turn to be the next Indra in the next Manvantara. Talatalaloka, demon architect Maya lives here. Mahatala is the abode of Nagas, the sons of Kadru. This Kadru and Vinuta. Vinuta is the mother of Garuda, and sons of Kadru are Nagas, and they are stepbrothers, and they're always in conflict. Rasatala, there are demons, Danavas, and Daityas who live here. Patalaloka or Nagaloka is ruled by Vasuki, and they have opulent crystals and the Nagamanis that are in this loka. And these are the hellish planets that are under these 14 realms. There's 28 hellish planets as per the Bhagavata Purana. And every hellish planet has its own way of punishing people as per the sins or the mistakes they've done. And Pitraloka is also located in this region, close to this, and Yamaloka also. And these are the 28 names of the 28 hellish planets. So this is the Sankalpa mantra I was talking about. Om Vishnu 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 Adya Brahmano Adya Brahmane Dvitiya Parardhe Shri Shvetavaraha Kalpe. So Adya Brahmane Dvitiya Parardhe, we are in the second half called Dvitiya Paradhe, that is the 51st year of Lord Brahma. Okay. Shvetavaraha Kalpe that is the Kalpa we are in. Vaivasvata Manvantare, we are in the 7th Manvantara, which is the Vaivasvata Manvantara. Ashtavimshatitame Kali Yuge, that is the 28th Chaturyuga, Kali Yuga, out of the 71 Chaturyugas. Jambudvipa, I just showed you which dvipa or which island in the Bhuloka we are on, that is the Jambudvipa. And the Bharatavarsha, which is the 9th section of the Jambudvipa. Bharatakhande, this is in the land ruled by King Bharata, that is the present India. This is the entire meaning of the Sankalpa mantra that we always chant just before the Homa or Yajna happens. Okay. Now I think this is the last slide. These are some of the pralayas that happen. Yuga pralaya happens at the end of each Chaturyuga, which is every 4.32 million years. And when this happens, there is a partial desolation or dissolution or partial destruction. Manvantara pralaya happens every Manvantara, which is every 307 million years. When this happens, I think someone asked me this question, what happens then? What do you mean by earth forming every time? This is what I mean. Every Manvantara, the earth space up until Bhuloka, up until Svargaloka gets destroyed and they get immersed in the Garbhodaka ocean. And then the creation starts again in the next Manvantara. And that's what happens when Matsya Avatara rescues King Satyavrata from the Manvantara Pralaya, and then he takes them to the shore and he protects them. Naimittika Pralaya it happens in every Kalpa, which is one day of Brahma. And when this happens, everything up until Maharloka is destroyed. And people who are enlightened, they go to the Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka for it's like a staging area. They wait until the next Kalpa starts, and then they start supporting and helping in the creation and establishing the mankind. Prakritika Mahapralaya happens at the end of 100 years of Brahma. In this case, Vishnu starts inhaling. Right now, he's exhaling. His one breath is 311 trillion years. And then he starts inhaling. When he starts one inhalation, all the universes that came out of him, they start going inside. That is the Prakritika Mahapralaya. It happens towards the end of Brahma's lifetime. It will destroy the entire universe. And fun fact, the next Brahma, can anybody guess, take a wild guess who the next Brahma is going to be after the entire universe?
Is it Hanuman?
Absolutely correct. Hanuman is going to be our next Brahma. Okay, so this was all I had, and these are some of the Puranas that talk about everything that I showed today: cosmology, time measurement, and many, many more. Brahma Purana, Vishnu Purana, Shiva, Srimad Bhagavatam, Garuda. Garuda Purana in detail talks about death and hellish planets. It's extremely graphic and profound. And when you start reading that, it's kind of scary. You'll know what I'm talking about. And Genesis of Creation. All these Puranas talk about that. And there are some more Puranas also, which I haven't mentioned. But these are the main Puranas that talk about everything that I showed.
Mhm.
Okay, so that was my presentation. It's 8 o'clock exactly. I hope I kept my time.
Yes. Well, what can we say, Kavya? This is so overwhelming, right? Mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Very difficult to wrap our minds, on this. Mm,
Yeah, this
mind is
takes a
not enough. It's too
few times of reading to register because it's not going to register the first time. That's what happened to me. It took me months and sometimes years to actually understand and uh, remember these things. Yeah. I hope I didn't overwhelm you. I know it was, but
And
I just wanted to share this knowledge.
what was new to me was that all the Puranas that we glibly talk about, they have occurred over these several manvantras, they're distributed across timelines. That was, I
Absolutely.
hadn't given it a thought. So yeah, that is what is.
Yeah, because these books, people keep recreating because it's not going to last, right? So whoever, for example, Veda Vyasa is the title of a Vyasa. His name is not Veda Vyasa, that is the title. But the Vyasa we are talking about, who wrote the Mahabharata, he's called Krishna Dwapayana Vyasa. Just like that, we have so many rishis and sages who rewrite these things so that it's accessible to us. Plus, these cycles keep repeating. They keep repeating. They've repeated thousands of times. That's how they know what next, what's going to happen next, who, what, everything. It's all written.
Mm. They
Yeah.
are Amara Chitrakatha. They are Amara and their Chitrakathas are
Yeah,
happening.
yeah. And they keep happening. These books, again, they'll go. Again, someone else will write the same thing with a different version. And again, they'll talk about this, and someone else will probably present this after another next kalpa.
It's quite fantastic. So any comments, people? Thank you so much, Kavya. It was really, really, yeah, it was a revelation, definitely. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Kavyashri, kudos. It was really, really wonderful presentation and so thrilled
Yeah, it is.
to, yeah, as Purnimaji said, a little bit of it we knew, but the complete package was really amazing. And knowing all this beyond Brahmanda, we can say, brings down to who am I, where am I? And
Yeah,
we are in
that is
the
what
journey and
Vedanta is
we are
all
all very
about.
fortunate even to get this information, which is very, very, very relevant.
Yeah, that I just
Very, very relevant because we just
yeah.
live like I am this. I wake up, I eat, I sleep, that's it. But knowing this is the ultimate. I mean, getting to know brings down to that
Yeah, thank
existence
you. I
part
just
or
wanted to
whatever.
show you
It's
just one
really
more
amazing.
thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. I just want to show you one more thing I forgot. I forgot to show you the spiritual world, how it looks. So this is the one universe I was talking about. And this Ananta Shesha here, right here, he carries the entire infinite number of universes on his hood. So that's how huge he is, okay? Just like he carries our entire Bhuloka inside the universe. So when we go up here, you see Karana the Kashaya Vishnu here, causal ocean, that's where the spiritual world starts. And then you go up, more up, there's Brahmajyoti, and this is where Kailasa is. These are all spiritual world. The 75% of the creation is spiritual. This is where the Kailas, the real Kailasa is, where Shiva and Parvati are. And this is the Vaikunta, where infinite numbers of Vaikunta lokas are there. The one in the middle is Mahavishnu, and the Sahasranama, Vishnu Sahasranama, which we take, Adhokshaja, Sankarshana, all those people, they have their own worlds, own realms here, which are huge, spread across the creation. And above that is Ayodhya Dhama, right here, where Rama and Sita live here. Okay. And just above that is Goloka, where Radha and Krishna. This is the Goloka, where this opulent and again, it's huge. And there's like so many things about this. And there is no concept of time and space here. I forgot to cover this. Sorry about that. So the time and space only is in the universe. The moment you get out of this universe, you're not bound by time and space anymore. Okay. Sorry. Thank you so much for this. And I see some of my family members are also here. My mother is here. She's my guru. So she's here. Shweta, my cousin, her mother. Thank you so much for attending, everyone. I really appreciate your time on this and bearing with me. And I'm sorry if I was not able to answer your question or, to your satisfaction, but I was trying to do that as much as I know, because I've not perfected this. So I've just scratched the surface, and whatever I know, I've tried to put across.
Hey, good morning.
Kavya, you are awesome. Super awesome.
Oh, Pratibha aunty, thank you.
You are
Thank
super awesome. Light and load. It was very nice.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Is there anything else for me?
I think we are so happy to have you here, Kavya, and absolutely because of through your words and description, we were able to picturize what we have been so far listening and understanding through scriptures and through Bhagavad Gita. We also had something like how can elephant be with four tusks and all. And we were able to get answers for those things here. And where the Meru mountain is, we used to have these questions always, and we are so happy and fortunate to get an answer through your session today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anything else people want to tell Kavya apart from thank you? Yeah. I think we would love to have you again, Kavya, when you have something more to share with us. That'll be great.
Absolutely. I can go a little bit more detailed in you guys decide what you want me to
Next
cover, and
occasion,
you can
yes.
give me the topic, and then I can
That's very
present. Yeah. Next time I hope I don't take 1 hour. I thought it's going to be 15 minutes, but I don't know how it went
no. These topics are like
over.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks, Kavya. We really have to drop. I think it's breakfast time here in India.
Yeah.
Thanks for making time for us. It's really, thanks for Anu for thinking of this. That was so nice. So on everyone's behalf, thanks again. And hope
Thank you,
to be
everyone.
back.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Right.
Thank you. Dear.